The Green Bay Area Public School Board of Education voted unanimously to elect Vicki Bayer as the district's interim superintendent. The board also discussed the application process, which opens tomorrow, to fill the vacant board member position. We've been following this story closely following last month's resignation of Superintendent Dr. Claude Tiller Jr. He came under fire for comments made during a radio interview in Atlanta. Board member Laura Lightnin Warren also resigned last week, and someone will be appointed to serve the remainder of her term. Samantha Cavalli attended tonight's board meeting. She joins us live in the newsroom with a first alert update. Samantha.
Well, Cammie, the board stayed in closed session this evening for just over 2 hours before reconvening in open session at 7:15. It was then they unanimously voted to rehire Vicki Bayer as the interim superintendent. This will be the second time Bayer has been hired in this role, as she was interim superintendent just before Dr. Claude Tiller Jr. became superintendent July 1st of last year. Her position effectively starts tonight. Meanwhile, the board also discussed the appointment process for an interim member following Laura Lightnin Warren's resignation last week. The board's legal counsel advised since Lightnin Warren resigned February 24th, they have 60 days to find and swear in a new member.
I hope we get a lot of applicants. I'm looking forward to seeing who those people are. I've been through this process a couple times, and so I know that it's a little stressful, but it's necessary.
Now, the applications for the interim board member will open up tomorrow, going through March 19th, and that person will serve until the next election in April of 2025. As for the superintendent search, there is no timeline established yet for that job search. Cammie?